Good afternoon, Mark.
Hey, Tara.
Right, so we've, been doing some ongoing coaching sessions around your business and your work, and really how to bring enjoyment of work, as well as some financial freedom there. And I'm just curious what we can pick up on today. So what we can kind of look at or focus we can go to that would add to the conversations we've already had.
Gotcha. Okay. Probably, yeah, the work situation, the specifically the school board stuff I'm doing. Yeah, that's maybe where we should look at focusing on. Yeah.
Nice. You've talked about some video stuff and some marketing stuff and some photography stuff and some computer stuff. So I'm curious for to really make the most out of today's session. What would kind of be a good focus?
I think maybe focusing on the IT prospects for a school district, and specifically for me, I've got lots of experience. I've got lots of years of experience as a computer guy and an audio video guy and all those things, but I think going forward I need to look at maybe adding some certifications to my resume, if you will.
Okay, nice. And so with this chat, how would you know we'd gotten to kind of the desired outcome? Like what's a point that we can get to that would really have you feel like we covered some good ground today?
Maybe some goal setting around timelines for how long it's going to take me to sort of put some of those certifications in place, in play. What's involved? What kind of stuff I need to do to make that happen.
Nice. So maybe some timelines, maybe some prioritizing, and maybe a little bit of kind of on the outside end. What would look the best on your resume at the end of the year?
Right. Now, the end of the year, my thinking isn't the end of the calendar year so much as the end of the school year.
Yeah.
As I'm looking potentially at a situation where a position might open up after this next school year. So I'd need to probably put some stuff in place by the end of school year, May, June of next year,
Okay.
versus January of this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Nice. And so, I think we can start with, have you spoken to others who've held this position and kind of inquired about what they've used or needed?
Yeah, I have. I've talked to one of the other guys, and sort of looking for some suggestions on what kind of certifications I should be looking for, and he's given me some good advice on these are the things you should be looking at getting, and looking at that stuff. I think it's doable if I really focus, that I could probably get a couple of those certifications in place by the end of this school year.
Nice.
And paid for by the school district.
Oh,
Partially.
tell me a bit about that.
Well, there's professional development money. So I'm in the union, and there's some professional development money available, and it'll cover at least a portion of the tickets I need to get. I got to pay for them, and that professional development money would pay for some of those certifications, or part of it, or all of it, or a portion.
Nice. That's a good incentive right there.
Yes.
Nice. So what are these programs?
The one would be an A+ certification. That's kind of a basic certification that any IT department's looking for you to have, or something equivalent to that. There's a couple of other certifications that are not. That's a CompTIA certification. There's other certifications as well that other organizations mention specifically. ITIL, I believe, is the other one. So but it's all stuff that nowadays, especially with COVID happening, you can a lot of the stuff you can do online,
Nice.
right? So
Nice.
the actual testing now, you can actually do the testing online, and they actually hook into your video camera of your computer, and then they watch for what you're doing to make sure you're not cheating. You know, eyes go down. Are you looking at a cheat sheet? You know, that kind of stuff. So they
Yeah.
can sort of get an idea of. So the testing can be done online. Some of that stuff now, versus having to go off of the island I'm on to a different island to get, yeah, the testing done. So
Nice.
yeah.
Nice. And you had mentioned, that you're bringing some skill and experience into this. So I'm curious, what you feel you're bringing to the table.
Well, what I already have experience-wise, that I've already been hired by the school district as their casual on-call guy, is specifically my computer experience as a break-fix technician. So that's, I can put on a resume almost 20 years of work experience on and off. And specifically, just in the last decade, I can put down, a couple of different positions that, give me experience as a computer tech, doing not only fixing hardware, doing troubleshooting on software, and also doing networking. Putting networks together, configuring and troubleshooting networks. So.
Nice. Nice. And kind of before we look at any commitments or anything like that, I'm curious because we've spoken about like an overall goal and kind of different pieces to this puzzle. And so how does this kind of piece of your career kind of fit with like an overall plan?
Well, the overall plan is that I'd like to put something in place before I hit 60 that takes me into retirement at 65.
Okay.
And this potentially does that. If I got on with the school board on a full-time basis for the last 5 to 7 years of my working career, potentially that does it. I can retire off of that, have a decent pension, have some, hopefully some money in the bank and bills paid down, and go into retirement without owing $100,000, which is probably where I'm at right now.
Yeah. And with that, like with each of those pieces, kind of what does that offer? Like I hear a little bit of peace of mind, and maybe like some comfort, and yeah, I hear that maybe that offers some things beyond just a number sign.
Well, yeah, this last year or so with COVID has put me in a position for quite a bit of that time where I've almost been semi-retired and only having to work part-time, not having to work 40 hours a week for someone, and I was kind of digging that, that freedom to be able to do my photography, to be able to do my writing. The stuff that I really enjoy doing, outside of the computer field and audio video field, just being able to do the stuff that I like to pursue as a recreational thing. Well, you're working 40 hours a week. There's no, like even now, just the last little while, I've been doing 40 hours a week. There's no energy left to do anything. I haven't done any photography. I haven't done any of the stuff that I really wanted to do that I was getting into doing over the last year and a half. So that's what I'm looking for, and the financial freedom to be able to do that and not have to work till I'm 85.
Nice. So that's kind of cool that you had a chance to have a taste of what that might feel like. I find sometimes tastes of what that may feel like are great motivators.
Yeah. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. So this initial, over the next year or two, getting some certifications in place, put myself in a position where I can take that job should it come along, that'll take me into that retirement age is kind of where I'm at this point.
Yeah,
So,
that's fantastic. And so you had mentioned that you can get them online, even do some of the testing online. And you had mentioned 2 tickets in particular that you'd like to get, May, June next year? So I guess, a good question would be, how long do each of them take?
Uh, Essentially, you can go and take the test. Like, I could go online right now if I felt confident and pay for the certification for the testing and go online, book a test, go take it, and have the first part of that certification in hand.
Okay.
So, I mean, really, it's at my comfort level. So I could literally go and take them back to back if I wanted to, and boom, have that first certification relatively short time.
Okay.
So, the other one going to take a bit more education.
Okay, so that needs a bit more background.
Yes.
Yeah.
The A plus is something that's what I've been doing for a good chunk of the last decade or two.
Okay.
Whereas some of the other stuff is stuff I'd really have to do some studying, and it would take a few months to get to the point where I'm comfortable taking that test.
Okay.
Because they're expensive tests, and they don't give you your money back if you fail. They don't give you a second chance either. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Nice. So with that, a little bit of information. One being a little easier, one maybe having a little more experience, and another requiring some study and education. Which you want to do first?
I think I'd go with the A plus first.
Okay.
Get that out of the way, because that's something I'm fairly comfortable that I could do fairly quickly and get it over and done with. And again, I'd qualify for that professional development money from the school that would pay at least half of the cost of getting that certification. So at least the actual test and the certification from the CompTIA people. So
Nice. So start with that one.
Yeah.
To completion, would there be any overlap, or you want to do one then the other?
no, I'd pretty much, once I had the one, I'd start working right away on the other one. Or there's as I say, there's some other certifications that I could pursue. Once I've got that A plus, I could go for a Microsoft certification for Microsoft Office, for example, because
Yeah.
the school board uses that for all the district-wide teachers and students and what have you. So having a good knowledge of that and having a certification for Microsoft Office would absolutely be of benefit for me if I was going for that job.
Nice. Yeah, and I imagine getting a couple under your belt, before May, June this year, and then even having the job and continuing to work towards them.
Yeah.
You don't have to stop just because you got the job.
No,
Yeah,
exactly.
so you can keep doing some certifications,
Yeah.
right? Nice.
Exactly, yeah. So that's where I'm at with that at this point. So
Nice, and I love that it's already something you've been doing, you said, for 2 decades.
yeah,
Yeah.
pretty knowledgeable about stuff like taking apart laptops and desktops and doing some server work, hardware wise.
Yeah.
Knowing Windows 10 and Windows Server to a certain degree. I actually did some schooling with that. I did my MCITP, which is the Microsoft Server 2008 administration course a while back.
Nice.
Sort of 2011-ish is when I did that. So I didn't get the certifications for that, but I did the schooling for that. And so I'm confident that if I pursued that as well, I'm confident that I could get some of the certifications I needed there as well. So.
Nice.
And they use Microsoft Server in the school environment, so that would also be advantageous to have.
Nice. So we looked at, others having the job and giving you advice. We looked at, some of your experience and bringing that into play. I mean, there's so many different levels that we can enter the workforce. We can be 17 with every bit of education, or we can be 60 with every bit of life experience and education. And so there's obviously, there's benefits to both, right? And I think our wisdom and maturity can carry us with these things. You got that going for you too.
That's right. Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm looking at. Sort of short-term, next couple 2-3 years kind of thing, and say then long-term, looking at being able to actually retire at 65 or sooner. With a pension, with some stuff there, with some money in the bank, with a pension plan of some kind, which I don't have right now, that kind of stuff. You know, being able to do video production, being able to do fun stuff like making movies and making videos, and for fun for putting up online. Like that's there's guys, that's what they do. That's all they do all day long is they make YouTube videos and they put it up online, and that's their job.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want that job.
So does my 15-year-old son.
Yeah, but like just for fun, just for fun, not to necessarily make a living at it, but just for fun. And if I was retired and could do that, and that's my thing, great. So write the scripts and do the videos, and yeah.
When you just started talking about that, you leaned forward, got animated, and were more engaged.
Yeah.
And I love when we talk about what we want to do, when we talk about what's important to us, the body language, that you just had was excited, animated, and engaged.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I'm curious if you want to write those things that having that pension, paying down those bills, having that savings, like write a picture, draw, collage, I don't know, something that you can keep that in existence for yourself. Yeah.
A collage.
I don't know. Maybe.
So like, what I had as I thought about doing at home is like a whiteboard type of thing with, like almost a storyboard of these are the things that I want to have on a storyboard that I look at every day.
Bingo. Perfect. So something in existence, right? Something where you have a hard day, or you're struggling with your certification training, or you're walking into writing that test, or you're on your 5th day of work and you're tired. Something to read, right?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, super good.
Yeah.
So would you like to make commitments around a bit of a timeline with those certifications?
Yeah, a commitment. So we're talking. I'm saying by the end of this calendar year, for example, maybe a commitment of trying to have at least one of, if not both of those certifications, those tickets written and tested for the A+.
Beautiful.
That's September, October, November, December, 4 months.
Okay. Give me a start date.
Beginning of September.
Okay, good.
Yeah, because I got the 2 weeks of IT stuff into the 3rd of September, and then after that, I don't know what's going on. So I may have lots of free time, unfortunately, or fortunately, to focus on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. So beginning of September, looking at wrapping up one or both by the end of the year. How does that feel?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we could do that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So social architecture. Who do you need to bring in to support you in this goal?
That's a good question. I'm already the on-call IT guy for the school district, so I've got 2 or 3 guys who are already doing what I hopefully will be doing as my job full time. So yeah, just lean on those guys for some extra help. I think that's a good start.
Nice. And I will offer my support. So anything you need from me?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
Right on.
Sounds good.
Thanks. Is there anything else you need from this conversation?
No, I think that gives us a good way forward, if you will. Yeah. So what do we do from here?
You can write the whiteboard. You're gonna, in the next 2 days, write me some notes from our conversation today, highlights, key points, commitments. So you're gonna do a couple notes. I find I used to get my clients I wrote the notes, but I've found in the last couple of years that getting them to write notes has them own their session, has them view it differently, has them kind of engage with their session a little differently than me telling you what I saw, because who cares what I saw. So much more important what you saw.
I saw.
Yeah, so you own that. Write me some notes.
Sure.
Email those. Get your whiteboard going on. Talk to your 4 guys. This is my commitment. This is what I'm doing. Need a little support. What worked for you? So I'm making kind of an initial contact with those guys. Accountability, right?
Sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks, Tara.
Nope. Thanks, Mark.